Hello, guys. Very good evening and warm greetings and welcome. Today, we have a very special guest with us, and none other than she's Dr. Deepthi, and she's a doctor. She's a PhD, but let me tell you, she is also founder and director of Astitva Being Foundation. She's an emotional and mental wellness coach. She's also wisdom and life transformation coach, helping lots and lots of people transform many lives. But not only this, if we go on her authority, then she is a clinical psychologist at IIM Udaipur right now. So she brings along with her lots and lots of experience and expertise. So a warm welcome to you, ma'am, for giving your precious time today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for inviting me into your space and welcoming me here. It's really, I feel that, yes, it's kind of an honor for me. So thank you again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's your, generosity. And yes, as we celebrate this Independence Day, there are lots of things. We are independent as a country, but as the citizens of India, now, in when we take today's current scenario in light, then we see that people today are not independent inside. They are trapped because of the social media, because of advancement in technologies, because of lots of distractions, and God knows. And you would be the right person to ask all the questions that I have in mind on behalf of all the people out there who are facing these issues, and they really are in a need of a solution. So, to begin with, I would love to ask you, ma'am, what is real independence? What does it really mean as a human being?
As a human being, independence, we all know the gross term is uh, freedom, okay, being free. But people actually misconcept it as being able to do what they want to do, okay, not knowing really from where our life is actually being guided from. Okay, so yes, we all have our wishes and desires, but though we feel at times that these wishes and desires will bring good to me, okay, but it is not necessary that it might always bring good to us. It appears we perceive it as good, but it not necessarily in the process brings good. Okay, so independence actually means that we are free from the compulsions, from the issues which have been imposed upon us in our, from our mind. Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
as a human also, it is very important that yes, freedom is taking the honest. If something has happened, whether it is good, whether it is bad, that I take uh, honest that okay, I am responsible and I have the ability to rectify it in my life.
Correct,
Okay,
ma'am. Correct.
so freedom is that, you know, that you are not dependent on other people of what they are actually doing to you or not doing to you, whether they are taking an action, whether they are not taking an action. Everything bothers our minds, right?
Yes,
So that is what freedom is. Okay, so
correct.
taking honest is one.
Yes,
Second is you know, as humans, honest from mind perspective, freeing ourselves from all the compulsions.
yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so big yogis or big people, big in stature spiritually, uh, they have overcome the compulsion of hunger also. They have
Yes.
overcome the compulsion of breathing also.
Wow.
Okay, so that is what psychologically, basically, the freedom would be, to coming out of the compulsion and simultaneously taking up the responsibility that whatever in my life is happening is my responsibility, though I may not agree at the time, though I may not able to understand how is this my fault.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
which is
ma'am.
very natural thing
Yeah.
for anybody to feel like. But slowly as
Absolutely.
you go ahead, uh, so automatically another freedom for any human being is self-awareness journey.
Yes.
That brings the very true freedom in life. So three parameters have been there: self-awareness journey. And in self-awareness journey, first thing, to learn to take honest or responsibility of whatever is happening, and going on to a journey learning about how can I really overcome my compulsions.
Yes. Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. Such a wonderful thought. And what you told that there are sadhus and yogis who have overcome the compulsion of breathing, of hunger,
Yes,
and they are
yes.
independent. They are not dependent on anyone for anything. And we are running
Absolutely. So
after things.
breathing, freeing from breathing is a very
Yes.
big thing. But they
Yes.
have achieved it. Yes, they have achieved it.
True, ma'am.
So I know a couple who they are from Latin America. They used to live in California earlier, but they call themselves breatharians. So they have actually, through breathing techniques, ancient breathing techniques, they have overcome their compulsion of hunger and thirst. Can you
Oh,
believe that the lady had both her pregnancies completely without eating or drinking anything? No compulsions, no cravings, nothing. Okay,
incredible.
so it's really incredible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that
So,
would, for with having so much of experience and dealing with so many people every day, that is what I would believe a freedom would be.
absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. So, this is one side of the story where these people have already overcome the things, the desires, the compulsions. And then there are people like all of many, many people out there who
The
have
rest of
these
the
things,
world, I
yes,
would
rest of the
say.
world, who are going through this constant clutter in mind. They want things or they have wishes. So, in terms of mind, when these things are going on in the world's mind, how should they overcome this, their own mind? How they can, tackle this thing?
To overcome mind would be knowing your mind deeply. When you know, today, the youth already knows a huge amount of this, that we know that there is a subconscious mind, there is a conscious mind, and our subconscious mind leads our life. So the technical part, though it is not there, but still they know that it is there. So knowing your mind truly actually brings a lot of freedom.
Yes, ma'am.
Why? Because I have implemented that this phenomena in my own life, and you really free yourself. Otherwise, what people will think. This is the most common thing that
Yes,
you will come across. So what people will think, or what my mom or dad are going to do without me, or how are they going to cope up, or how would I be able to cope up. Each and everything, every thought brings a huge amount of burden of feelings and emotions. Okay, now it is okay to feel what you are feeling. I'm not asking that, one should negate it. Never ever negate your feelings or thoughts.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, but becoming more aware. So, one part of it would be in meditation. A lot of people come and tell me that, we do meditation, but it's not working for us, because the moment we sit for meditation, we have a chain of thoughts coming to us. And then I tell them it is good that you are having thoughts. You only have to deal the meditation in a different way. That's it.
Yes,
And it's really, when you know the techniques, it becomes quite an ease process. It's not that difficult process.
correct, ma'am.
And I would really, say to many of my clients or patients who come to me is, if I can be sitting on, this chair, and I have been in this condition at certain point of my life, if I can overcome it, you can definitely overcome it.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Definitely, being aware is a very important thing. And once we are aware, then the only thing we need to do is to resolve it and know it,
Yes.
feel it, and to find a solution. But the problem is when we are not even aware, then how we will deal with something that we are not even aware of. So correctly
True.
said, ma'am. Right. So we all there are a set of people who are on the self-growth journey who want to change, but I would say I find just 5 to 10% of them. But there are rest
Yes.
of the people, there is lots of potential in them. They are
Yes.
incredibly talented. They can resolve all their life's issues, but they don't want to change. So for them, or for on
Yes.
behalf of them, I want to ask you, why is it important to change? So that they can understand, yes, at any given age, many people have this barrier.
Right.
We are at 35, we are 50. Now we can't change at all. Or our
Mm,
parents' age are like this, so they won't ever change again. So they have
right.
this particular thing of about change, that we can't change, these can't, they can't change. So how they can change, and mm, will they be able to change?
Yes, absolutely. What you have actually said is you have touched the nerve of the society right now, because a lot of people who come to me also, they have difficulty in creating change in their life. So, touching the first point that you have said, change is very, very important. Why it is important is because if you lead your life the way you have been leading till now, till the present moment, you have obviously gone through the suffering, the pain, the issues. Okay, you can't say that, I have not suffered or I didn't had any pain in my life. Nobody can say.
Absolutely. Yes.
Even I have I had a 7-year old coming to me, and do you know what she told me? That, ma'am, my soul cries. And I was like, wow, it's like too huge a thing. A normal person would see what a 7-year old understands. But these people, these young people are much more evolved than what, we are at.
Yes.
Okay. So for them, change is not a negative thing. Now, what the key problem that kicks in is that change becomes, or we have been trained cognitively by, the people around us, teachers, society, as we were growing up, that change is, negative. Change is difficult. Okay. So automatically that cognition kicks in. Ki change to difficult.
Yeah.
Okay. So change is difficult. So let's not, it's better to be where we are. Yes, there are brain and there are mind mechanisms that are taking, place whenever a change is mentioned in front of the person. But once you know the mind operations, how mind is working, automatically you will feel that, okay, let's not call it a change. Okay, now whether we want or not, if we compare 2024 from, let's say, 1930, change is the only constant all our lives,
Yes,
right? We
absolutely,
just
ma'am.
can't stop it.
Yes,
So that is why change is important, because what you have gone through earlier will keep on repeating if we do not change. Yes, it might be difficult, but people like me are there to handhold people. Even people like you are there to handhold people to go through that process. That, okay, yes, we are there for you the moment you require, okay, how to do this.
yes,
Okay, and there are various tools, techniques present today, uh, which is in our palm, in mobile phone, of which we can take help of. Okay, so
correct,
yes, change is absolutely very, very important. And because otherwise the life conflicts are going to increase, because the world is changing.
yes,
World is not stagnant. Even a plant grows, it
yes, ma'am.
changes,
Correct.
right? It's
Yes.
only our cognition that has been instilled within us, and we have imitated by when we were growing up, that change is difficult, and change should not be there. Only so the moment we rectify these two cognitions, automatically things becomes quite an ease.
These were such wonderful insights, ma'am, that first we can use the technology in our favor instead of getting used to it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And change
Look,
is,
everything has its pros and cons.
yes, yes,
Technology
absolutely.
is a double-edged sword.
Yes,
Okay, so one has to be very, very careful to, walk upon that path,
yes, ma'am. Absolutely right.
right?
Yes. So these were, thank you for these wonderful, wonderful insights. And now when we come to the youth of the nation, the as per your expertise and experience of what you see the youth, that is a completely different perspective from what a normal person is seeing the youth as. So what do you see the biggest problems the youth is facing right now? The challenge they are facing?
Uh, the most difficult, there are only two things with see youth at a regular intervals, and I feel that number one problem with youth is relationships. They are very, very, struggling through it, and that hampers a lot of other growth areas of life. Then number two is the monetary thing. Lot many youth is struggling with the finances, but still finance comes next to the relationship.
Yes.
Okay, so the relationship issues are the major issues today, which the youth is struggling with. And because they have seen difficulties in their life when they were small, in their parents' marriage or otherwise any near or dear one, uh, their adversity index, or let me call it adversity intelligence, to cope up and adapt in adverse situation, okay, that is becoming quite low in them. and that is something I really feel that is not a very good thing to happen to the youth, because the youth is a future of any country, any society, and to develop that resilience is very very important. But as I said, relationship, whether it's with friends, whether it's with parents, whether it's with girlfriends or boyfriends, whether it's spousal, whether it's with kids, the youth is struggling majorly with the relationship issues.
This is such a wonderful way, ma'am, because as per what I was seeing was never this way, what you saw. And this is such a major insight that what we see is not real. What they are actually facing is the relationship part. And now I understand
Yes,
that if someone is overusing phone, that means they are not getting the true family love. If someone is in a family
yes,
surrounded with lots of love, they don't need social media to be happy. They are already very happy.
absolutely. So going to social media or any video game, social
Yes.
media, any X thing, even if you're overusing something, whether it's drugs, whether it's tea, whether it's social media, understand that it is a coping mechanism to escape from the reality.
Yes. So true, ma'am.
And the reality, so they are feeling already so much of, you know, disgust and so much of loneliness and so much of aloneness within themselves, that they find that, it's not really worth spending time. So then
Yes.
they go out to the most easily available thing today, and that is why
Correct.
a lot of social media issues are happening. And uh, American Psychological Association is actually has been forced to create a new category of disorders apart from
Wow.
substance abuse addiction.
Yes, ma'am.
So video gaming and internet addiction is a separate entity today.
Correct.
Right.
Correct, ma'am. So true, so true. And apart from this, like when we come to the addiction, so there is one sort of addiction that one can do themselves. So for example, watching the phone, and so that's not inflicted. That a person goes to themselves. But when I see the youth, there is another problem. There are different set of examples I would love to share. So there is a youth,
Right.
let's say they want to study something, but their parents are forcing them to study something else. Then there
Right.
is one youth at a certain age who doesn't want to get married at that age, or doesn't want to get married to a certain person, but parents are again forcing them to get married to a certain, as per their rules or their personal choices. Now at this particular phase, and third is when they are alone in college, or they feel lonely, and then they are surrounded by friends where they are offered, smoking and drugs, and where
Yes.
these things are
Yes.
introduced. So
Right.
how come a youth overcome this peer pressure and the family pressure? These both type of pressures are very heavily drowning the youth down mentally. They feel lonely, they can't say it to
Absolutely.
anyone, because when the family is only against you, where they will go? So at many a times,
Yes.
how they can
Right.
overcome and make the family understand as a younger person, and the overpowering parents who have always raised them,
Mm,
and being so
mm,
low in stature, they feel that
mm,
time they don't know how
mm.
to deal with that sort of pressure. How they can deal with the family and friends at this juncture?
Um, there are only two resort to come overcome the family. I will take family pressure first, because that is a very major issue that is going on, as you said, whether it's taking a particular subject, a career stream, or whether it's taking about marrying age. Everything is very very difficult. And marital thing is basically more problematic for girls today, because they
Yes.
can't say no.
Mhm.
And so these are the issues, yes. So one major thing is from a very early age, if the parent promotes it, wonderful thing, because today's parents are now themselves evolving. They understand the mind to a certain extent. They are understanding how these issues can crop up in my child's life later on. So the very first thing to be done at an early age, whether from a parent's perspective and if not from parent's perspective, you have to, instill in your own self, is set boundaries with parents. Okay, it may appear as a very foreign concept. Okay, but
Mhm.
today setting up boundaries is actually makes you valuable in their eyes.
Yes.
Okay, you won't believe that, a few years back, a 16-year-old guy used to come to me, and he used to tell me, "Ma'am, my parents just don't even knock my door, and they'll just barge in." And I was like, that is something I need to convey to them, because 16-year-old, you're exploring your sexuality, you're doing things, and there is a sense of privacy a 16-year-old or any teenager requires. Okay?
Correct.
So
Yes, ma'am.
that is something the youth has to learn to set boundaries, not only with the parents but also with the peers as well. Okay, because both the entities is not you. Okay, they can perceive your situation, they can perceive your issues from an external way.
Yes.
Okay, so that is why setting boundaries, certain boundaries, so there are physical, mental, and emotional boundaries that are needed to be set. And I take masterclass on that. I actually extend to a huge lot many other areas as well. But these are the primary boundaries, and in these primary boundaries, saying no is very, very important without feeling guilty. When we say no as a young child of the family, we are made to feel guilty.
Yes. True.
Okay, and that is something we have to unlearn, from the perspective that all the behaviors are learned behaviors, and because they are learned behaviors, we can unlearn them. So saying no, I'm not saying that you have to say no very rudely to your parents, no, but you can say no politely as well. You can take stand on for yourself politely as well. No, there can be a silent no as well. So there are ways where you can express yourself and still be
Mhm.
diplomatic.
Correct.
Do you understand that? So
Absolutely.
that is something which is very, very important, in because in that process you are not able to express yourself. Those things remain in your inside, and they will keep on going on in your mind, impact your body. So a long chain of events then ensues. Okay, then apart from that, another very important part for the youth to do and really inculcate this ability to say no, okay, is to be financially independent.
Yes.
So you may say that how a child of, let's say, 9-10 years be financially independent. I say it is still possible. Okay, so this was a concept which was introduced to me in my childhood when I was 9-10 years old by my parents, and I'm really blessed to have such parents. In Hindi, it is called as khari kamai. Okay, in English, it would be an honest earning. Okay. So I used to make, like, at that point of time, 5 rupees was quite much. So 5 rupees, okay, I'll do my, cut grass in the lawn. I'll do gardening.
Yes.
Okay. Not all the work, household work I was doing inside household work. No, I was not, that was not included in that. But outside the boundary, or, external any work, if I did, I used to be rewarded basically by monetary reward. I started taking tuitions from when I was in ninth standard.
Wow.
Okay, and I still remember that I used to love big teddies, and I asked once my father that I want this teddy. Okay, excuse me. I want this teddy. So he said me very, to today's kid, it may appear very blunt, or as a negative trait, but he said, if you want to buy it, you have to earn it. Okay. And I took tuition who were younger than me. I helped them, and with that 1 year salary, I went and bought that teddy.
Amazing.
And that is still very precious to me. Okay, because when you have that taste of earning and that self sufficiency, oh wow. Okay, so that self sufficiency is very important in today's youth's time. Okay, and definitely, uh, ability to say no, but in a polite way,
Yes.
not rudely. Okay, presenting your thought processes, and you know directly maybe asking the parents that I need a time and space with you where I can speak freely without your a comment or judgment. I just want to express myself. And if there is a kind of a household where this is not possible, I usually ask my clients to write it down and give it to their parents, because at least your words are going to them, because that is very very important, that how you are feeling, what you are feeling.
Correct.
So how generations change. Just 2 3 days back, I got a 18-year-old girl. She pushed her mom to take my appointment.
Okay.
She had come once earlier, but there were 12 exams and other things were there. So everybody around her said that it's better not to take sessions right now, you focus on your study. But her mental condition was not in a very good shape in the first time when I met then also. So now it came like here for her, and she was like, no, you have to message ma'am. That's it. I'm not going to listen anymore. So connecting this from the change. Okay. So already the generations change. So change is by default inevitable, whether we resist it or whether we, create ease towards it. So jumping back to that change element, I just wanted to add that if you change your definition of change, you shift the definition from people usually see change as that we have to leave something. I tell people that you have to change your perspective, that as if you are embracing something new. So when you think of experimenting, embracing something new, a lot of difference comes in and a lot of ease kicks in creating the change in life.
Absolutely, ma'am. so wonderful points you have put here that the youth needs to acknowledge and adapt and learn because now
Yes,
this is the way you can deal with these things. And thank you so much
absolutely.
for sharing, for making this a normal thing. Saying no, a normal thing,
Yes,
taking a
yes,
stand for yourself in a polite way, a normal thing, and breaking all
yes.
these taboos. Really so grateful and thankful to you for bringing this out, and it means a lot.
It is required. It is the,
Yes,
necessity of the time today. You really can't, ignore now these things. Okay, because I have seen, in extended families that 80-year-old mother trying to control a 60-year-old son.
yes, correct.
We are so used to that thing. Okay, so yes, mother and father have certain expectations. Okay, but then, you are a separate individual, you are a separate soul. You can't take that burden onto yourself. You have to see where your interests lie, where your passions lie, where you want to do something. So I was advised, I would say I was, advised by my father to be a lecturer. And I knew that that is not where my passion lies. I feel very stagnant, repeating the same curriculum over and over and over again. Okay, so I said, no, this is not the way I want to be. I have to be in a healing profession, I have to be in a therapeutic scenario, helping people directly in a different way. Teachers help in a different way, I want to help people in a different way. So I took a stand for myself. And today it's like, if in middle of the night somebody asks me that, wake up and give me a particular tool or technique, I'm facing this, I can give it. I might not have been able to do with the lecturer thing. So
Absolutely,
that
ma'am.
is something, they have their focus, they have their own expectations, and they are right in their own way. I'm not saying they are wrong. Okay, but every individual person has to create their own path. They have the right to create their own path, and they should be creating their own path so as to
Absolutely, ma'am.
not to regret. I have seen people coming at 35, 40, 45. I took engineering, I took being a
True,
doctor because
ma'am.
my parents or my colleagues or peers forced me into, because if that was what everybody was doing. And now I am stuck at my career. I do not know what to do. I don't have the skills required, what my job demands. So it is better not to regret. That is what
Correct,
my
ma'am.
opinion is.
So true, so true. And you remind me of Arya Stark. She's a brave girl character from Game of Thrones. And I just came across
Okay.
this 2 days back when I was watching her video.
Okay.
So that this
Okay.
was a short, and her father was a king of kingdom. So he was telling her
Hmm.
with the booklet showing the generation,
Hmm.
and he was telling her that one day you will also become a queen of a kingdom, of wife of a prince, and you will be raising kids. So that she was around 10 years old in that series. So she
Oh,
tells her
okay.
father, no, this is not me. She just speaks one line, and that just feels like, wow, yes, this is not me.
Right.
What you are, you should accept.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you so much for all this connecting all the dots. And
Thank you.
now, ma'am, the major issue that I see today is two things. One is the phone, which can be used as a very good way to develop ourselves. But what I'm reading constantly is these companies have people out there who are psychologists, who know the human behavior experts, and they know which
Yes.
color, which buttons, which all things we should have in the platform that would keep the person in the loop.
Engaged.
Now, yes, ma'am, absolutely. So, one thing is that even people of who are mid-aged, from them, mothers, to the youth, and to the small little kids. So the
Hmm.
above two categories are again self-imposed. They don't know how to get out of
Right.
this loop. They are not aware. And
Yeah.
the third
Right.
category, all these small kids, were the people to save themselves the trouble of handling the kid. And they don't know what to do when the kid is crying, when they are at a restaurant or somewhere, and they just
Right.
put the phone in their hands and they say, now eat the food. Now, I would really
Yes.
want a huge resolution of this thing that the adults are facing and those little innocent kids who don't even know what's happening to them. How should those
Right.
parents change it?
I am so glad, Siddharth, that you are actually touching the nerve of the problems of, that are ongoing in the society right now. Uh, yes, it is a very big problem because one, to be in your own space, you are providing the kid who is just 1 year old or even a 6 month old kid or 1 year old kid with an escape mechanism. So again, when if they know the mind, okay, and the most problematic issue, which is also we see today, is that the moment a couple is married, okay, especially it comes to the Indian society and Asian societies basically, is that the moment they are married, within a year or two, the parents start forcing by verbal or non-verbal cues that they should have the kid. That is the root problem of this issue. Okay, so if you, because most of the people with a newborn kid or small kids I meet with, they were not mentally prepared to have a kid. Having a kid, we distinct ourselves as human, right? So we have to put in our own intelligence to put that, okay, yes, I really want to have or not have the kids. Nobody asks this question, at least in Asian societies, because it's taken for granted. Yes, answer.
Yes.
Okay, so connecting a connection with the kid is the most important thing. Okay, and the only resolution is when you provide and tell the kid that we are going to have raise a kid in a way that we are going to have a quality time together, have a meaningful conversation, understand mind is already developed. Okay, brain is developing but mind is already there in the kid, and everything the kid sees or hears has a huge impact in the formation of the new neural paths that are being created in the brain as the brain grows in. Okay, so it's a big no. So if one of the couple is eating food or wants to have time, the other has to take responsibility of the kid, or you provide the kid with some so kind of toys which keeps the kid engaged, and you can finish off your food. Specifically this happens when the parents wants to have food and especially they are going outside. Okay, so
Yes.
you have to carry a load of toys so that you can, you know, keep the kid engaged, and you can keep having a talk, a constant talk with him. Okay, do you want to eat this? Or if he carrying his or her own food. Okay, so simultaneously when you are eating one bite, you are taking one bite, you have to give it to the kid. Okay, that is one way to create not only interaction, but the kid doesn't feels left alone because he sees all other people eating.
Yes.
Right. So the routine has to be developed in such a way. Now, if before you are going to a restaurant, if the timing is such that the kid is fed already, automatically their body timer is so much accurate, they will not even look at the food. So then toys is the only thing, more engaging toys which the kid can handle. Yes, the kid is going to throw it and you have to give it back to the kid. There is no solution to it. Or you can ask a person to take care of how the child is interacting with the toys. Maybe you can ask an extra waiter to just look after the kid while you guys are having a little bit of food and interaction and with other people. So that is the only solution.
Absolutely.
Mobile Giving mobile or introducing screen time is definitely a big no. Whether it's cartoon, whether it's any other thing, it is not to be done. And if you have a, I would say, heart to heart connection with the kid, okay, that won't. Another important thing that can happen is introducing certain mantras, because mantras carry high frequencies. Okay, so it will stop the kids to become jittery. So if this practice is done right from the moment a lady conceives, so listening to it, when the child listens to it in womb, automatically that attunement towards it is formed. And once the attunement is formed, they will be happy always in presence of that mantra or that chanting, or maybe a song. Mantra specifically because it has a high frequency, that is why I am advising about the mantras. But it can be a favorite song, it can be any other thing. Okay.
Correctly.
And if they are more onto the, some kids are more listening kind because they're very interested in what is going on, so you can introduce to certain audios. Okay, so what you want to instill, the positive affirmations, the good things to listen to, so then they listen to that and then they respond to that.
So true, ma'am. So true. And I wasn't even aware about this beautiful way that right from the pregnancy, this could be instilled so that when the child will feel attuned to that mantra with the higher vibration, so how much helpful
Yes.
it would be for his or her growth. And this is such a
Right.
beautiful way. And the intellectual toys, like anything of puzzle or something that they can play right at the restaurant and anywhere.
Right,
Yes, yes,
absolutely.
so
Anywhere.
beautiful.
And yes, we do require, the key problem, what happens is that the younger the child is, the more intelligent the child is. The society conveys an opposite concept.
Yes,
But when we speak about mind wise, when we speak about psychologically wise, you will see the more they are responsive, the more they understand. Even if the mother and father are fighting, they'll start crying. They know something is not right. They understand energy, they understand vibration.
True, ma'am. True. So true.
So, one big thing to understand is the younger your child is, the more intelligent he or she is. So, better, see them as intelligent beings and act accordingly in front of them.
So true, ma'am. Absolutely. And so this is what kids should do. But when we come to adults, so what we see is people are stressed. They are going through lots and lots of challenges internally. But
Yes,
first, they are not ready to accept it as a major challenge. Second, they don't want to take professional help. They feel that this is only for, like, if something is wrong with our brain, only if when we, when we say that this person is a bit, not that intellectual. So they feel that only those people go to psychologist or someone who is having some major issue, but they don't take that
yes,
to reach a goal in your life that you have and you are not able to reach it back to back from 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, then
yes.
also this particular person, the psychologist, the coaches can help you achieve it. You don't have to worry about it, but they are not able to accept it.
Absolutely.
So how should we make
Absolutely.
it a common thing, a normal thing?
That can only be done by, breaking the stigma. And that, in my Instagram channel, I'm already doing this. And a lot of these issues that we have talked upon has been touched upon in past of the videos and the reels and stories as well, carousel posts as well. And this breaking to normalize that therapy is normal is very, very important, you know because, if, for example, if I told you about this 7-year-old child, this 18-year-old girl who came to me, I can't act like a psychologist to her. I'm
Yes,
acting like a life coach, because
yes,
your role definitely changes according to the age. You
yes,
are, you cannot be into that strict boundary. So, because, it is already a stigma with the society. And you very correctly again touched the nerve that people really don't understand it. A person comes to me, the person is suffering from a very severe kind of disorder where a lot of neurochemicals in brain are very, very disbalanced, and hence the control over behavior is very less. And there, all the significant others of this person are saying directly or indirectly that therapy is nonsense. You are not making an effort, you can do it. I mean, I was like, so I felt so much for this person, because, when the neurochemicals are this disbalanced, unbalanced, one cannot take that initiative. It's not possible. Please understand the person. It's very, very necessary, and it really makes, breaks my heart that, people still feel like that therapy is nonsense. It's today a lot of therapists, be psychologists, counselors, or coaches themselves, they have also gone through the therapeutic phase in their lives,
yes,
and they have understood that this is an important thing in anybody's life. What significant others feel like, they should, I know the world better. Yes, you may know the world better, but a psychologist or a counselor knows the mind better. You are not trained in mind and mind operations, and that is to be accepted by them. And if not, at least the children who are suffering or going through any kind of pain, are going through any kind of struggle in life, they have to understand that we have to go to a professional. we can't go and listen to uh, any Tom, Dick, and Harry. So even an adult, if he or she is having a cardiac problem, will not go to a lawyer.
Correct.
Everybody is going to say that, but when it comes to go to a therapeutic professional, they said, we are good at it. Yes, you might be good at it. I'm not, you know uh, uh, negating it in any way. But what I am saying is, you do not know the mind. You do not know the mind anatomy. You do not know the mind operation, how it operates in daily life, and how hugely it impacts our regular everyday decisions. Even if it's like, overtaking a vehicle, one split second of a misjudgment, and you're gone. So that is how it happens. Whatever worldly things are being done may not be right psychologically,
So true,
because
ma'am.
mind has its own parameters to work upon. Mind is not going to see what world is doing. It works on its own, right? So that is something that people, yes, are breaking the stigma. But for any youth to come to me, the major again issue is the barrier of finances, if the parents don't approve about it. But I have been very active, and I am right now also very proactive in creating something from where, uh, although my, as if I compare my experience and my studies and other things, my level of expertise, I have kept my hourly session fee quite low. Okay, but if there is a special case or anything, we do try to keep on doing it, by creating group sessions, by creating, so that many people can benefit in 1 hour. So there are ways out, but they need to reach out. If they don't reach out, there won't be any
Correct,
solutions
ma'am.
to it.
Correct, ma'am. But what I see, ma'am, is this is absolutely right. But there is a set of people. So let's say they are judgmental. They have a negative thought pattern, thought from their childhood, not to blame them, but they are not even aware. So the people around them, maybe a spouse or there is someone who is a coach, can see this, that okay, this close friend is having this major negative trait. Now, how
Right.
can we make these people aware, or how can a normal person think that if there is something wrong or not, be becoming aware and then taking the professional help?
For anybody to make themselves aware is, life will all automatically tell you if something is not working out, and it is creating mental impact or bodily impact onto you. Automatically you would understand, okay, they may not be aware that, okay, this is the key issue, but they know that something is wrong. So acceptance is very important part out here, and you won't believe that in recent times, there is a name of the whole therapy has been named as acceptance and commitment therapy. So it is actually focused in making people accept that, okay, they have a role to play in any problem. Okay, and if if there is some a loved one or a near or dear one who are not aware, and you are able to see that, okay, this is what is creating problem in them, the simplest thing is to create a very, a positive time and space. Go to them in that positive time and space, maybe mostly away from home, or where you regularly meet. So going to a neutral zone, so the impact is not, negative onto them. And creating a appropriate language before you start speaking. Maybe you can write it down, and you write it down in an appropriate language. This, I believe, is contributing to your problem. You are not blaming, pointing fingers to them. It is what I believe is contributing to your problem, and I'm just making you aware about it. I believe that these are the options available to you, and then leave it up to the person.
Yes.
Because in reality, the more you force somebody, the more they are going to negate it.
Resistance
So
will
it
in.
is, yes, the resistance will kick in. So it is, why the resistance kicks in is basically they become defensive. So not allowing their defense mechanisms to take place. So a neutral zone, number one, defenses are already low. The language I have used is technically known as I statements. You start with I. You don't say, Siddharth, you are
You.
having so and so
Yes.
problem. I I have observed
Mhm.
that you are having this problem because of which it is. So whatever example is there, always give sufficient evidence to the person, so as for them to not really become defensive. Okay, and then leave it to them that these are the options that I see are feasible for you. These are what you can avail. And for example, if you know a psychologist, you have a number, you have a reference, give that reference in written to them, and leave it up to the person. You move on internally to a higher or highest frequency. You pray for them that, they have that kind of blessing, that they take help. That is what is the appropriate way to do it.
Absolutely, ma'am. So this
Okay,
was
because,
the.
even
Yes,
as a
ma'am.
psychologist, sorry to interrupt you,
Yes,
but
yes. Please, please,
even
ma'am.
as a
Please.
psychologist, it is not my job to fix somebody. Understand that. Psychologists are not here to fix anybody or anyone. We are
Yes.
here to guide. Okay, so we are just here to guide, and as the guidance is implemented, the shift keeps on
It
coming
starts happening.
in the lives.
Absolutely, ma'am. Wonderful.
Okay.
This was this was such a wonderful, wonderful conversation, touching the depth of the human emotions, the psychology, and what can be done. So, guys, we had Dr. Deepthi ma'am with us, and any of you, if you ever feel any need to go contact her. She's based out of Udaipur, and then you can always find her on LinkedIn, on social media. You can reach out, connect with her, talk with her, have a
I
heart to
do
heart
take
conversation.
sessions.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Please.
I do take sessions online as well. So I'm
Yes.
available online as well.
Absolutely. So this is not a location-based thing. Even if you are based out of anywhere in India, please, I would highly recommend to reach out. And as we, just ma'am said that she is not there to fix you, she is there to guide you. So we all need a guidance. We all need a coach. All the top players in the world is having a coach. All the best teams, football
Wonderfully.
teams, cricket teams are having a coach. Tennis players have a
Right.
personal coach. So don't worry, when they are doing it, they are, of course, more knowledgeable than us being playing at the top level. So we should definitely, each one of us should have a coach. And so go after it, go win in the life. Thank you so much, ma'am. Any last words you would love to convey to the audience?
First, I want to convey to you, thank you very much, Siddharth, for touching the questions that really hits the nerve of the society that is going through today. So I thank you for that. And my only request to the audience would be that do make therapy and taking professional help normal. It is okay to take help, and when we go to the expert, we get an expert advice. And most importantly in this is that learn to invest onto your own selves. That is the best investment ever made by us. So
Absolutely.
thank
It's
you.
not an expense, it's an investment. And whenever we make an investment, we sure we get 10x returns in the future. So towards,
Absolutely.
yes, thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time towards all of your supersonic life. Your supersonic said, be unstoppable, be supersonic.